Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Jesse and Anthony, the Star Wars Blue Harvest guys, here to bring you another episode of Rebels and a little Rogue One hype. So, before we get any further, I gotta say, I came in, sat down to watch the this week's this week's episode of Rebels, and oh, great, thank you TNT. Episode 1 is on. Appreciate that. Realizing I haven't watched that movie in probably, God, when was the last time for me, I haven't watched anything in the prequels since 2008. I will say that was the last time I watched anything prequel.
Ever since they signed that deal with TNT and TBS, it seems like every couple of weeks it's on, and I end up catching good amounts of it.
Hey, it still exists. It's Star Wars canon. I mean,
and I will say that as with stuff with the novels and now watching Rebels, there are a lot of things that I appreciate and like.
It's wearing you down. It's wearing you down.
And listen, I was never a full blown I hate the prequels. There was a lot of things I like about them. I think the whole premise and the story alone is interesting and good. There's a lot of the execution that I think was bad.
Right, and I mean, for me, it was. I got really into those movies at that time frame. It was that, hey, there's new Star Wars. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I was young enough, so how bad they were didn't hit me until probably Attack of the Clones. But I just, again, you're not going to see them stop on network TV until Rogue One is out of theaters.
Yeah.
But one of the great things we noticed, and thanks for bringing this to my attention, because for me, I'm not following all the Rogue One trailers and the teasers and everything that's coming out. I feel like I know too much about this movie at this point. Like, we knew the story going in. They're fiercely marketing it to the Chinese market. They're going after them amazingly hard because that's unconquered territory for Star Wars.
Yeah, there's billions of viewers.
Yep, tons of money there. And, you're seeing, again, Magnificent Seven, Ragtag Team. You've got lots of reasons of, diversity and multicultural efforts in this movie, and that's great. But I feel like I know the characters, I know the story, I know the background, I know the kyber crystals. What's this new trailer going to give me? And what did it give me this week?
We got to see the ghost ship.
Oh my God, the friggin' ghost. The Rebels ghost is clearly in the trailer. We'll toss the still shot up here.
And one thing is, like Star Wars, they don't do stuff by mistake or accident.
No.
This is precision tuned.
Right. It's completely... It's awesome. It's a direct tie to Rebels, which is what we've been speculating at. Character-wise, it gives us a chance to let either Hera voice in and not appear, or a Twi'lek costume is something they can execute very well. Easy enough to throw a visual and make her both the CGI and live action. In the Toyland, she is coming up as the next character for the Black Series 6-inch figures Rebels. They've only put out Kanon and recently Sabine. So it makes sense that reference would make it to Rogue One.
And, I mean, even a call sign, like as they're going into whatever that was, going into a battle or leaving.
Yeah.
Even a call sign would be really cool for like people that are watching it. And it's not going to make anything any better or worse for somebody who doesn't follow everything. Right,
but I mean, and it's a great nod to the geeks, and it's a great nod to the kids.
Yep.
Spectacular marketing, good job. Again, kind of would have loved to catch it in the theater rather than have it spoiled to me on a Chinese trailer.
It was one of them things like, it's just a second and
right.
You can easily miss. I missed it the first couple times I saw it. It wasn't until I saw it online and I was like, what? And go back and look and I'm just like, damn. All right, so now we're going to get into episode 11 of Rebels, and that is Visions and Voices. And I will say right off the bat, probably my favorite episode so far this season. Granted, we have had 4 or 5 episodes lately that have been, kind of filler, not so good. So it could just be that this was a okay episode, but based on the other ones, it was a really good episode.
Yeah, and I'm right there with you. A lot of it, week to week has not stayed memorable. I'm not a huge fan. This episode is Maul centric. I'm not a huge fan of Darth Maul being back over and over and over and over again throughout the cartoons. But this episode was phenomenal. It was great.
Really good. Like, I liked it the way it ties into the whole start of the season, how everything was. I like the stuff like the mythology going back, and it makes me wonder. I'm starting to wonder more and more. I initially had thought that Maul was on a mission to get Ezra as an apprentice because that's what all Sith want. But he's not a Sith anymore. He's not a Darth. He's Maul.
Yeah, I mean, he's been through so much, and you mentioned how the prequels are you're warming to them. I'm wondering when you'll finally get bored enough to dig through Clone Wars. But I mean, yeah, there's so much to happen to him in Clone Wars in the later seasons. He had a brother, and he was part of a clan, and it's
I've seen some episodes, and I know a good amount of what happens in them from.
Yeah, but knowing it and watching it are totally different. I mean, it's the difference between reading a summary and having to watch 22 minutes of not Samuel L. Jackson team up with CGI Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, I think I've seen that episode.
So I think there's a couple of them. But, anyway. So yeah, Maul, getting creepier and creepier, like, as he ages. Definitely he's got this weird pedo vibe going on with Ezra. There's you will be my apprentice.
I like the way he keeps calling him my apprentice. Like, like if he says it enough, it'll make it true.
I'm disappointed in you. Like, it's just so weird. It's all manipulative.
When we saw the first episode, the Holocrons of Fate, and I was under the impression that, like, when he saw Obi-Wan and he realized he was still alive in that vision, that he was wanting to go get redemption or revenge on Obi-Wan. I'm starting to lean toward, I don't know if that's necessarily the way it is. I think it would be cool either way, but I'm, like, based on everything that's happened to him, everything the Emperor and the Empire did to him and stripped him of everything, it makes me wonder, does he really want to get revenge on the Emperor? Not necessarily revenge on Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan could be the pathway to get, or teaming up with Obi-Wan or something.
Well, and I think you're right, because the Emperor did use Maul and toss him away.
Sure.
And but I again would have to dig through, at least season, I think, 4 and 5 of Clone Wars, because they were so Maul centric. And it seems like this characterization of him, what is his motive? What is he doing?
Yeah, they definitely got that up for grabs. Like, it's hard to tell. He's either being mastermind deceitful, or.
Well, what sadly is what's going to happen is it's an old Force sensitive person who's going to be driven forward by these visions and these holocrons and these little cryptic things. And again, this is Star Wars now at this point. You're lining him up to head to some conflict, and he's got to get gutted. Like,
because we know he.
Yeah,
we know he doesn't exist later.
Vader's got to gut him.
I think that's the fight that everybody would like to see.
I think it needs to happen at this point. I mean, the character is still alive after being cut in half by Obi-Wan. I mean, at this point, why would he even be upset with Obi-Wan? Again, barring digging back through the Clone Wars stuff. Maybe he killed his brother. Maybe it was Anakin. It was probably Anakin.
No, if I'm not mistaken, I think Palpatine killed his brother.
Okay. I think you're right.
And I remember seeing that. I think I've seen that episode where there was a big fight, and he basically was fighting off both of them, and he impaled the brother, I think.
Yeah, I think that...
And he was bitch-slapping Maul around, force-choking him and throwing him all over the place.
Say your memory of it's better than mine is. And I think that'd be good for the arc of Maul. Mm-hmm. If you're going to have him linger around... let Vader do his thing. I don't think you need to see Emperor do it. I don't think it matters.
I think based on everything in the novels and stuff like that, past Revenge of the Sith, the Emperor no longer fights. He has his muscle,
right?
And it's another thing. Like, he doesn't want to divulge who he is, and then it's always a test for Vader. I want to see how strong this guy is.
Yeah.
He's either going to be strong enough to do it, or I'll get a new apprentice.
Right. So the episode, you have the opening of visions for Ezra. Maul's communicating.
Yeah, well then Hera even mentions, was this a Force vision?
Right.
So I thought that was...
She's always been the character that's kind of ahead of the game, or written to be like one step ahead of the rest of the Ghost crew.
She's a far more tactical, visionary type.
So that leads Ezra to go back to where the Bendu sister tribe, which is from Clone Wars.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Night sister magic.
Right. Okay. Eventually, they lead him to the Night Sisters. After they meet up with Maul, you get some great possession.
They also go to his home planet, Dathomir.
Yeah,
Dathomir.
We get some great possession of, Kanon and Sabine for whatever, the reason why we're sharing the visions, which were it's all lined up in earlier seasons, but with that, it opened with Kanon coming in and just shooting that gun.
Oh yeah,
at the ghosts, and I'm like, okay, is he blind? Is he not? Like, make him blind if he's going to be blind. If he's not going to be blind,
the way I interpret it is yes, he is blind. He doesn't have traditional vision. However, his connection with the Force is allowing him to, in some form or fashion, like he's got daredevil powers,
which is great, except for the fact that he's using a gun.
Yeah,
like that laser bolt could easily miss or go through a ghost and could keep going. like oh no, it's a crowded area. Let's shoot at him. Like, give it to the blind guy. Like, okay, the lightsaber I can get a hand to hand.
Yeah, and you're working more on intuition and stuff like that.
But golly, again, character design, guys. I hate that freaking helmet.
Yeah, I was really happy for about the first segment when he didn't have it. And I was like, oh, cool, maybe he doesn't have the mask anymore. And then he puts it on.
I mean, I'm pretty much just, this is season 3 Kanon is hipster Kanon, goofy hat, dumb beard. You are hipster Jedi.
Yeah.
But again, the episode concludes. There's good dynamics between Maul and Ezra and everybody. It furthers the plot. It aligns where we're going with these holocrons and these visions leading to Tatooine, leading to Kenobi. But can't wait to see Ben Kenobi when he comes into Rebels. That would be phenomenal. What else about the episode?
Well, the thing that makes me think Maul's focus is elsewhere now. He's had every opportunity. I mean, he could have easily killed Kanon. All right, he could have easily killed him. He could have easily killed Sabine. But no, he's like, no, we can save your friends. Follow me. We just have to get out of this cave because they can't come out of here. And then he wants to take him with him. I mean, it could have a double meaning, But he could have easily killed them, and then he would have had no reason to stay.
Right, but I mean, I think but you would not be able to ply or mold and shape Ezra if there's so much blind hate directly at you.
Sure. But then if he's got the hate, he's going to the dark side. So.
Well, yeah. But and as we mentioned, maybe Maul, his goal is not to push Ezra to the dark side because that he maybe there's a well, what I mean, is he a weapon? Is he again in Maul's effort against the Emperor? Is he
I would think that
a tool?
That by now Maul knows he cannot defeat the Emperor by himself. He's not strong enough. He wasn't strong enough with his brother.
Right.
He's not going to be strong enough now. I'm sure he's aware of Vader. And so like he's maybe in my mind I'm thinking now is his goal, I need Ezra because Ezra is strong and me and him together and I can teach him more. We can be maybe strong enough to take out Vader together and then go after the Emperor. And now maybe he sees like if Kenobi's alive, the three of us teaming up together could take them down.
Could be. I mean, if he's trying to recruit for that effort, I could see it.
Only thing that makes me think is he's had every opportunity to take out a good percentage of the Ghost crew, and he's never done it.
That's a fair that's a good observation and a fair assessment. Any other points? Any other things
No,
couch about the episode?
No, all in all, I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. And we got Rogue One coming out Thursday.
Yep.
That's on the 15th, and then our next episode of Rebels will be on January 7th, and that is Ghost of Geonosis. So I think that in that episode, and we already know that by this point Geonosis has been wiped out. I think we're going to have some Death Star talk, for whatever reason that they're going there. So I'm looking forward to it. It looks like, and I'm really hoping that after Rogue One, they're able to really move forward because they don't want to ruin stuff for the movie.
Well, so. It's a great time to be a Star Wars fan. I'm interested in seeing where we're going because you gotta button this area up. This prequel or pre-New Hope period needs to get buttoned up at some point, and it has to be done very well because you already deal with. If Kanan is around and Ezra is around, what the hell is Obi-Wan saying to Luke? You're the last Jedi. Oh,
yeah.
As soon as Luke steps onto the scene with a lightsaber in the rebellion, hey, go talk to these guys. So,
right. And maybe, maybe he thinks they died or something. Who knows? There could have been something. There might be something that ends up happening. Because they didn't know Obi-Wan was alive.
Well, like the Rogue speculation that Rogue One needs to be more tragic and more of a darker ending. Yeah. Maybe that's what's going to happen to Rebels and challenge kids for a change. I mean, that's what Empire did, and that's what made this whole thing so great. Anyway, to plug a few things we've got coming up, so we'll see you later this week for Rogue One. We will see you in January for Rebels when it comes back. Stay tuned. We got some fun Christmas stuff coming up. We're going to do an episode where we're giving each other the gift of a recommendation in a movie, and my gift to Anthony is 2015's Krampus. And you had mentioned that I've never seen Bill Murray's Scrooged. So we're going to watch those and chat about them. If you want to get ahead of the game, check those out. We want to do a good plug for other YouTuber content in the Movie Fight Screen Junkies guys. Put out an all Star Wars episode that crossed over with Colliders. Folks, that's out there this week. Check them out.
Yeah, it's really good. I enjoyed it. I sat there and watched it yesterday. Really good. It's a good watch.
And I think at some point I'm going to push you to let's do an episode on the people versus George Lucas. But anyway, guys, thanks for listening. May the Force be with you.
All right. Have a good one.